Thank you, everybody, for being so patient there and understanding for the technical difficulties. So we'll get right into it. We don't want to keep anyone too long. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on. It's nice to see everybody. I love seeing a big turnout like this, especially on a Saturday night. That corporate call, were you guys on that?
Yeah.
That's exciting. So a new app. I can't wait to get that. Did you download it yet?
I didn't yet. I was just trying to figure out my headphones.
Honey's nodding. Awesome. I can't wait to check that out. So everybody make sure that if you missed the corporate call, check Mark Pentecost's page. He posted about a new app that we have for us to stay plugged in, so we know where to find how to plug into calls and events and stuff like that. So that's great. So I just want to say I'm really excited to put the spotlight on Tanis today. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. Tanis is a triple diamond with the company, and she's starting presidential. I'm sure she's almost presidential. And I know that she's a big inspiration for everybody on the team, and she's a big inspiration for myself. So I'm so excited to ask her these questions. And before I get started, I'll just tell you guys a little bit about what happened to myself with the company before I jump in. I used to be in the wedding photography industry, and I love it. I love everything about it, but I hate sitting on the computer staring at thousands of photos and editing photos. And honestly, the longevity of it wasn't like an income was not there, and the big money wasn't there. So, my friend Jackie, who is my upline, she introduced me to It Works. I was a huge skeptic. I was probably the biggest skeptic that you could ever encounter. And I went to her wrap party, and I was pleasantly surprised by what the products and the company, everything about It Works. We all know how awesome it is. So I jumped all in, even though I had no money. I put $700 on my credit card and jumped in because I bought like big boost pack, and like this was years ago. So I jumped all in, and so now I'm just super excited to have this opportunity. I have a baby boy now. He's almost a year old. I'm going to be home with my baby, and just that being in control of my future, and knowing that I get to write my story and live how I want to. And that's the beauty of this company. I want to share with you guys how Tanis wound up on the team, because I think it's a really interesting story that most people don't know. There was a girl, so I was brand new in the company, had no idea what I was doing, and there was this girl, a sideline of mine, and she's like, I double booked myself for 2 trade shows. Do you want to take this trade show off my shoulders? It's $30. So I was like, okay. So I did, and it wasn't even a trade show. It was like this little dinky craft share, like what's it called? Craft show. And so it was $30, and I went there, and it was like, it was kind of a flop. There was hardly anybody there. But there was a girl set up beside me, and she was like, hey, I know that stuff. I'm a customer. So right off the bat, I didn't prospect her or anything because she was already a customer. We just kind of chatted, but every time somebody came and looked at my booth, she was like, oh, it really works. I'm a customer. Anyways, at the end of the show, she says to me, hey, how much is it to join? I'm going to join your team. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So she joined, and then and like 5 months later, she joined. She called me one day and she joined. And then something like a year later, she brought somebody in, and then that girl brought somebody in, and then that girl brought somebody in, and eventually Tanis wound up on the team. And this was like 2 years after that $30 trade show. It's a great lesson in letting seeds grow, and you just don't know what's going to sprout within your organization. A year from now, 2 years from now, you just never know who's going to meet who, right? Because I just think that's just a great story. I wanted to share that. So when Tanis first joined, we told her to get her butt to conference because we knew she was a superstar in the making, and she got there, and then it was like she blew up after that. So I really want to turn it over to Tanis. And my first question would be to just tell us how and why you got started, how long you've been with It Works, and what has it done for you and your family.
Okay, awesome. You guys, is it really loud, or is it just me? Is it just me thinking it's really loud? Or are you guys, it's fine? Okay. Someone else just texted me, thought it was loud. It's okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. That's okay. It's not your fault. Thanks. Thanks, Steph. I got involved with It Works almost 2 years ago. I just received my 21st paycheck, and they've gone up every single month. I got involved. Nahani's saying it's super loud for her too. Anyway, so I had watched someone for over a year, and I was about to have my daughter. She had asked me to join the business. I just wasn't interested, but I was super excited for her. And then mat leave was coming up to an end, and I really didn't want to go back to my old job. I enjoyed it, but I was sick and tired of, making someone else super wealthy. And I just, my hours weren't working, and I was putting all this time and energy into someone else's business, and I always wanted my own business. So my upline, Lisa, had actually posted on Facebook, and I was ready. I was excited. I just, I messaged her. I was like, okay, I'm ready. So like Steph said, Steph and Jackie, I met them, and they're like, get to conference. So I really couldn't afford to go. We were really struggling financially after my mat leave. And it really put us in a tough place. But you know what? I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all in, because it is a lot of work. I mean, there are people who join this for all different reasons, but I told my husband, I'm like, I'm going to do this. And he's like, yeah, okay. He's like, if you're going to do this, like, you have to make it work. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make it work. So I got to conference, and I came back, and I was so fired up. I remember calling my uplines and just telling them, that I was going to get to Diamond. They had announced the bonuses, and I was super excited, and I already knew all the people I was going to contact. So I went to conference, honestly, with like a couple customers and just really not knowing much. But I didn't even know how to chart. I came back, and I was just so excited. I just wanted to sign up people. Unfortunately, about a week after, so I got back, there was a team meeting. I got home that night, and I actually suffered a really bad head injury, and I still get super bad migraines all the time. And the doctors told me to stop whatever I was doing and just rest up and not worry about my business or anything. And at this time, I also had like a little girl at the time. I mean, obviously she's still little, but she's 3 now. And, I couldn't even really take care of her. I couldn't really be in light, but in my room, I was on my phone, just keep going on with my business. And everyone told me to just kind of stop. But, I put my mind to it that I was going to do this. And, can someone turn, there's music on somewhere. I'm just going to, okay, sorry, I just heard some music there. Sorry, I just didn't want to make sure you guys could hear me. So I decided, I came back, I was going to get that Diamond bonus. It was a $10,000 bonus, and I just ran for it. I worked my butt off. I got to Diamond. And then after Diamond, I found out I had some people in my business who just weren't really, into it. And I had some girls that stayed with me, and they're still here in the business, and they're Diamonds now. But the rest of the people, I had to rebuild. I got to Diamond, I had to rebuild. I got my bonus. I never stopped working. I know a lot of people get to a rank and they stop working because people on their team stop working. Or, you can't ever worry about what your downline or what your upline's doing. You have to worry about what you're doing. And that's the biggest thing I will say to anyone, because I had a whole bunch of people that don't work. I still have people on my team that don't work. But the people that want to work will show up and they'll run with you, right? I mean, every single person at the top doesn't just get there because they have all these distributors that work. We all go through the same thing. I follow my steps to success every single month. I've done parties since day one. I've wrapped people from day one. I haven't missed one day on social media. And I always tell my team, I will never, say and recommend them to do something if I'm not doing it myself. I did parties. None of my team showed up. I did so many things I tried to do for my team and they didn't show up. But then I just kept working, and I knew that my rock stars were out there, and I just kept putting in the work. It was hard after I got Diamond. Going from Diamond to Double Diamond was the hardest thing for me. But I just kept going. I just kept moving forward because I knew if I was never going to stop. I have, of course, had setbacks. I actually have a migraine right now, but I just get used to it, so it's fine. But if you want something so bad enough, you'll just keep going. You won't worry what people on your team are doing or what some people who don't care. You'll just keep going. So that's a little bit about me to start. I don't want to keep babbling because I know you're going to ask me questions. Oh, Steph, I can't hear you. Sorry, I unmuted you. I think you muted
Okay,
yourself.
I think it was
Sorry. Sorry.
delayed there. That's okay. I muted myself. Well, one of the questions I wanted to ask you about conference, how would you say that conference itself impacted your business? That if you think, like, looking back, okay, we can't say what would have happened if you didn't go, right? But how do you say that conference can impact your business specifically?
You know what? Honestly, people who don't get to invest, this business is all about investing in yourself. I know all the time people say they can't afford it. I get it, because I couldn't afford to go either. I could barely afford my booster kit and all that stuff. We were up in debt and we were struggling. And I mean, we still, we have a nice home and everything, but financially we were in a bad place. But my dad always said to me, if you're going to do something, you have to do it. Right. So I knew if I didn't get to conference and I didn't invest in myself, that I couldn't go forward. And I mean, I was still going to do the business, but I have so many girls on my team that are coming to conference, and I'm so excited for them, because I know it's hard. And then your husband say, oh, you can't go, like, and all this stuff, and like, oh, we can't afford it. And but getting to conference was everything for me. I went by myself. I roomed with some amazing girls and that I didn't know. But one of them's on my team now. It just didn't work out with her other team. Anyway, but I went and I saw, like, people up on stage just totally normal like me. I had no idea how to charge. I had no idea how to get to Diamond. I just told myself I was going to do it. And so getting to events has been everything. I've gone to a couple One Team One missions now. I went down to Chicago. I just did one here in Winnipeg. I just got back from the cruise. I went to Green Carpet. Every single thing you get to, every single thing I've gone to, my check has gone up because it gets you excited. People who say that they can't afford it, I get it, but you can't afford not to. I mean, there's some certain situations I understand, but it changes everything, getting to conference and getting to events.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing for me. I mean, when my first conference, I was a Ruby, and it fired me, and a clueless Ruby, like, totally. I didn't get to Ruby because I knew what I was doing. I got to Ruby, like, I was helped because, a long story, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was very new, but going to conference is just like, oh, I get it. Like, this is what I'm a part of. These are my people. This is my tribe. This is my family. I'm not crazy. That, like, I'm a part of something amazing. And so it just solidified my decision. And I was so on fire. I myself came home and just ran towards the promotion. So it's great. If you're wanting to make, a few thousand a month and up, you definitely want to get the conference to get on fire and the knowledge and just everything. It's an amazing thing. So the next question, you kind of mentioned it, but I just wanted to make sure that we specifically mention it again. On your journey to Diamond, I just wanted to know a little bit about your journey to Diamond, because I know how we get to Diamond might not always be the same. We might not always be doing the same exact thing from Diamond to the next promotions. Things kind of change because we learn and grow. But did the same people who got you to Diamond stick around, and did they get you? When I say get you, like, they promote with you. So did the same people who promoted with you when you went Diamond, were they there when you went double and triple and presidential? What did that look like?
The ones who don't quit, there's 2 Diamonds right now. Everyone else, they basically quit.
Yeah.
And that was 21 plus distributors. I think when I went Diamond, I had like 30 distributors, and that was like almost a year and a half ago, a year and a half ago. And now we have almost 600 distributors.
So it doesn't matter who you are, how hard you work, people are going to quit, right? People are going to come.
People quit. I think sometimes people see all these Diamond and above leaders and they think, I was talking to Jackie Marchand about this. We were talking about the same thing. Everybody has the same struggles. It's just the people that decide to work through them. My Diamond promotion, I think, was one of my hardest promotions. I wanted it so bad. I worked so hard. I was wrapping people. I was doing parties. For that whole month, I said, I'm getting this Diamond bonus. No one did anything for me. I have, worked my butt off, and I decided, I'm getting that bonus. I need the money. My family needs the money. You have to want it so bad. If you're just going to see what happens and waiting for your team to promote, you have to want it so bad. I want to get to ambassador so bad, and I know I will do it. People can't be like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to see how my team does. I'm going to see. You have to want it. If you don't want it, I don't really think you're going to go that far in the business. And it's a lot of time investing in it and working it every day if you don't really want it. I mean, yeah, you can make a couple $100 here and there. That's great. But I mean, we all know it's a lot of work put into it. I put a lot of work into it. And I think a lot of people just don't realize the work that you need to put in to get there. And to me, it's completely worth it, like compared to where I was a year ago. But yeah, like the question you asked, a lot of people quit. And my two girls who are still with me, Victoria, she's going to go double diamond. Robin joined me right after I went diamond, and she's going to go double diamond soon. So all the people who didn't quit, they are going to be making they already are making good money. So it's the people that quit, right? It happens. It happens. People quit all the time. People buy gym memberships and don't go, right?
I mean, I like what you said there. It's kind of like, my dad always says, if it is to be, it is up to me, right? Like if you join and you get, like, even if you are diamond, you fill out your chart and you've got everybody, sometimes people might think, I've made it, I'm here, I'm done. Like, and now I just kind of leave it, but you're leaving it in other people's hands. You're literally leaving your future, your income and your life in someone else's hands. Yes, the residual income in this is amazing. Like that's the whole point of this. Yeah. But we still have to do our own, like you're equally paid for your work, the work that you put in and the action you take. You have good intentions, but if you're not taking action, it's kind of pointless. Okay, my next question. Our queen Pam Souter, she's always telling us that we got to get over ourselves. So I wanted to ask you, what are some things that you've had to get over in your business?
Negative people and people not showing up and chasing people. I know you asked me a little bit about that before we started. Honestly, I will not chase people. I don't have time. We have such a large team underneath us. I can't want it for someone. I can't force someone to show up on a Zoom, force them to come to Zooms, force them to do parties, force them to be consistent on social media. And I can't force them to have a goal and a why in this business. So all you can do is really lead from the front and try and inspire people. I know I will never give up on people, but at the same time, you can't force someone to do something, right? So just get over the negativity, get over people not wanting it because people quit. I used to think, honestly, I remember talking to Jackie after I hit diamond, and I just kept going. No one would have ever known that my team basically fell apart. I had Victoria, and she was still running with me. But my girls, and they would have been amazing at this, but they let their egos get in the way. They were too cool to show up to anything. And you know what? The more you learn, the more you earn. So if people don't want to show up on Zooms or parties, and that's totally fine. It's up to them. But I mean, your upline wants to help you, but they can't do it for you, right? So the biggest thing is just trying to lead your team from the front, and those who really want it show up. And I mean, people quit, people are negative, and it's actually made me a lot stronger. And Jackie said, she's like, Tanis, people quit all the time, but I thought it was me. I was like, but I didn't do anything, right? So I just had never done anything like this before, so I didn't really understand, right? But yeah, you have to just get over it and just figure out what your why is and then run with it.
That's a really good point, that I've never heard anyone quite say it that way, that I think that's going to be something I'm going to take away from this call, that we all come in and then we all learn that people come and go, and it's what you decide to do then. Are you going to let that break you, or are you going to let that push you to work harder? And it's like you said, you thought that it was something you were doing wrong, and I think a lot of people might think that, what am I doing wrong? I'm recruiting people and my team's not working it. It's not, you're not doing anything wrong. They're just not hungry enough. Like you can't force somebody, like you said, you can't force somebody to be hungry. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink it. Yeah. It's not your fault. I mean, unless, of course, don't sign them up and then never talk to them again. but
Oh, no.
yeah.
I mean, you'll find out the people who come into your business and the ones that really want it. I know which people are really serious, and I know which people are just kind of, seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Is there music somewhere or somewhere? I hear something. Okay.
There's a couple people that aren't muted. I think it was like Trudy and Katie or something. So maybe just mute everybody and then unmute yourselves or something.
Yeah, you know what? You find out which people are, it's not, I know it was never my fault because people quit. People quit in anything in life, right? People, it's just the way it is. And I don't take it personally at all. It's made me stronger. I honestly believe each rank you go, you get stronger as a person. You have to just really realize just what people are like. And I know I never made anyone quit or anything. There's always issues, especially with girls, and there's stuff that always happens. But that's why personal development's important. But I think some people spend so much time on personal development, they don't work, honestly. Like,
balance it with action.
I think that's huge. Or just people just don't know what to do sometimes. That's why I think it's super important for people to know what they're supposed to do in network marketing, because that's what we're doing here. And again, the more you learn, the more you earn. I say that all the time. And if something's not working, to stop doing it. I will say that all the time. I kept doing things until I found out what worked for me. And I do a little bit of everything. I wrap people, I do parties, I do one-on-ones, I do social media. I will never, ever, ever miss social media. And growing my network. I've started adding like 100 people a day. And it does pay off. And if you're not following the steps of success and you're not signing up distributors and customers, you have to do something else. You can't just keep doing the same thing and expecting it to change, right? I mean, you can't. You have to bring in distributors and customers. You have to. Or help your team get them, right? I mean, I know for me, I can recruit people, but I also spend a lot of time planting seeds and growing relationships. And a lot of people will not spend that time. I think a lot of people waste time on Facebook. They're so worried about wondering what some people are doing and maybe liking and commenting on posts and stuff, but you have to be working the business for it to work, right?
Yeah, you have to make sure that in between it all, we're still asking people. Like, that's our job, is to ask people, hey, do you want to try the product at a discount? Do you want to get paid to use the product? And if we're not asking people, we're missing the biggest part of the equation, right? Like, yeah, posting is a part of it, and talking to people is a part of it, but it all comes down to that moment that you ask them, do you want to come to a wrap party? Do you want to have a wrap party? Do you want to try a wrap? Asking them, do they want to try a certain product? Just asking that question and then letting them decide. Yeah. And that's the action. It's that taking that action, and not just thinking that posting is the taking action part. You still have to ask and invite people.
Yeah, I mean, that's key. I mean, if you're not asking people every day, don't just expect them to show up at your door and wanting to sign up. If you're not excited, consistent, and passionate, and you're just kind of waiting for it to happen, it's not going to happen.
No.
You have to be so bold and confident in this business, because people are going to join people where they know they're going somewhere. I tell my girls every single day they should be offering the opportunity and talking about it, because people just, I joined with my upline because I was ready, right? And she posted and I was ready, right? But the girl who asked me a year or so before that, I wasn't ready. But I still follow up with people, and people eventually join. Like, some of my top people on my team, they are people who watched me for months and months, and I just kept following up with them. One of them two of them are about to become triple diamonds, two of them. One of them was a customer. Two of them jumped in with me. But I have a lot of amazing girls on my team, great leaders that watched me forever. So don't give up on someone if they ignore your. Chelsea ignored me. She straight up ignored me, and I just kept messaging her because I wanted her on my team. And she's gonna go triple diamond, and then she's gonna go presidential, like probably in a couple months. So, there's so many amazing girls on my team, and I never give up on people. That's my biggest thing. I will never give up on people. But if they just want to quit, and which ones just want to quit, and they just, a lot of people I met online too. One of my girls, Carissa, I met her online, and she's amazing. She's a rock star. And I met her in like a group. And I grew a relationship with her, and she's an amazing girl. And the products have changed her life. And I mean, this business is all about helping people and offering them the opportunity. If that first girl didn't offer me the opportunity, and then my upline post on Facebook, I don't know where I'd be right now. I know I wanted to do some kind of business like this, but I'm so grateful that my upline posted that when she did, because I really needed something. I was really lost, and I needed something for my family. And I worked hard. Like, when people just take the weekend off, it drives me crazy. Like, I worked my butt off all weekend, and I am about to sign a bunch of distributors this week. Like, it's fine. You don't have to be making $20,000 a month if it's not important to you. You don't have to be making thousands of dollars a month if you'd rather, go shopping or, go to a movie or, I get it. You do stuff with your family. I get that. But doing this for my family is way more important than taking the weekend off. I say no to a lot of things so I can have great things for my family. And people know I'm just obsessed with It Works, because long term, it's way more important to me than just taking the day off. So if you're not consistent, Jess is like, yes, Tanis, I love that. And it's true. There's so many girls here that, Steph, even I know on your team, like Jess, for example, I met her at Green Carpet, and she's amazing. And she is always working hard. And I told her it's going to happen for her too. But it's just everybody, some people might promote quicker than others, and don't worry about what everybody else is doing. That's the biggest thing. Like, do not worry what your sideline is doing. Worry what you're doing, and you will be successful. You just can't quit and complain and compare yourself to everybody else.
Yeah, we're all on a different journey.
I just care what my team's doing. I don't care what my sidelines are doing. I just care what my team's doing and how we're moving forward. It doesn't matter to me what my upline, sidelines, and everybody else is doing. It doesn't. I hope everybody makes it to the top.
You're not wasting time comparing.
Yeah. And you said that, Steph. Hey, you said you've done that. I think a lot of people compare themselves. It's normal. And we're all different colors too. I'm very red, blue. I'm very motivated. I'm very driven by money. I'm very driven by what I want in my life and what I want for my family. And I knew I had the vehicle to change my family's life. So working super hard and not saying, oh, I don't have time to do a party. I don't have time to, go wrap someone. That's fine. But those people don't really want it. They don't.
Yeah, I like what you said. It reminded me, I wanted to add to that, like, it was the year before last, I think. It was when my upline and my sideline, because we all started at the same time. It was Jackie and Kat and myself. We all started on the same time. And we all went double diamond the same month. And then those two, continued on and went triple in presidential. And I remember just being just so, you know what I was doing? I chose to be in the victim role. That's what I was doing. I was making myself the victim. Like, woe is me. What about me? How come I'm not promoting? Like, it's not fair. And just being jealous and spending all that time being jealous, which then kept me from working my business, and my check actually dropped. So when you're comparing yourself to somebody else, you actually make less money because you're focusing on them. It's like driving a car. You drive your car, you look forward. If you're driving your car like this, you're going to crash. Like, unless you're very, very good at it, but you're going to crash if you're driving looking behind and to the side. And I always think of it that way, that you're in your own vehicle. It Works as your vehicle to get wherever you want to go. And if you want to go there, that's great. You want to go there, that's great. You just decide where you want to go and stay in your vehicle and focus forward, right? And once I realized that, it's good that I went through that, because I learned a lot of valuable lessons, and now I can share those with other people. But honestly, like, being jealous of other people, you can sit there and waste all that energy, or you can go, you know what? I'm jealous of her because she has something I want. I'm jealous of him because he has something I want. And I can either let that upset me, or I can just reach out and say, what are you doing that's making you successful? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something I'm saying, like, maybe there's something, so you can use that to help you grow. And I really encourage that. Like, if you're feeling jealous of somebody, try and figure out what they're doing. It's because you probably wish you were doing the same thing, right? My next question, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, and I was just going to say, to add to that, it's not, I know my business is not my upline's business, it's not my side business. Don't worry what everybody else is doing. That's the biggest thing. Like, Steph, I know you want me to do well, but my business is not your business, right? No, it is your business. That's not what I mean. But it's not like, what I do is not up to you, right? Your upline doesn't determine anything. Like, you know, I'm thankful I joined how I did. But I think people sometimes think that someone's up. There's people who are top earners who people like sign them up at the top, and they're in the top of the company, and maybe they don't talk to their upline, or maybe they don't. I mean, everybody's uplines do different thing, and I'm happy the way I joined. And you know, my uplines never dictate my success. I dictate my success. So don't blame things on your upline or your downline or your sideline. You know what I mean? It's up to you. It's always up to you.
Totally. Every day, everything we do, all the decisions all are all up to us.
I blame everything on my husband. I blame things on my husband whenever I'm in a bad mood or anything. I try and take things out on him, right? But I know it's not, you know, I know nothing's like your fault or, you know, anyone else on my upline. Like, I know when month end can happen, and if I'm going for promotion, I can get stressed out, and, you know, but I'm so happy I joined how I did. But again, I think people always try and, I don't know, not blame things on other people, but they think that they aren't somewhere because of their upline or whatever. And it doesn't matter who your upline is. It really doesn't. I mean, it can be a great thing, but I mean, people who might not, I know some people who might not get along with their uplines, or just girls, not necessarily on my team, just in general. And I think it's great joining someone who wants the same goals as you, but people can never like blame their uplines, or, I don't know really where I was going with this, but just basically saying it's your business. It's up to you to succeed in it, you know, and stop comparing yourself to other people.
And be grateful. And instead of being upset with your upline, if you feel like your upline owes you something, be grateful. Like, oh my gosh, if it weren't for my upline, I wouldn't be in this business. So sometimes, sometimes your upline, what's the word? Like, role in our lives, like some, and this happens to so many people. Like you said, sometimes the role of your upline is simply to introduce you to the business, and then the rest is in your hands, and you just be grateful for that and move forward.
Everybody's different, and
okay, so next question.
Sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, are there any, you've kind of mentioned this, so if you think you've covered it, then we can move on, but are there any aha moments that really stand out for you that you've had?
Aha moments?
Yeah, like from an event or something that stands out, you know, something somebody said or a quote or something that...
I think going double diamond. When I went double diamond, and I heard Stephanie and Joel Dunn, I couldn't go to conference last year. Just some health issues and stuff. But I stayed home and I watched it on pay-per-view. And Joel Dunn and Stephanie Dunn, I think going double diamond really changed everything for me. I told my husband was very, and I think a lot of our spouses can say this, that they're not, they might not understand what you're trying to do. They might not understand your dream and what you're trying to do for your family. I know my husband was mad at me. I was always spending time on my phone. I remember us being out for dinner in February. This was after the conference. The announcements for the bonuses were announced. And I said to my husband, he looked at me, he's like, "You're on your frickin' phone again." He didn't say frickin', he said something else. Anyway, I sat there and I said, you know what? I am getting a $30,000 bonus this month. I'm getting a 5-figure check, and I'm going to do this. And he just looked at me and he's like, and I said, leave me alone. I'm going to change our family's life. Because it was still great at Diamond, don't get me wrong. But Double Diamond was like life-changing. And I was like, okay, I'm doing this. And he's like, okay, yeah, do it. That's fine. I said, I'm going to change our life. And I remember being at the restaurant saying that. And he's like, okay. And I haven't stopped working like since then. I got my Double Diamond promotion that month. And then a couple months later, I went triple. And then I've been trying to go presidential since September. And, I think people, if they don't get to their goal right when it happens, I think they just kind of stop. you know, your goal is still there, whether you get it next month or in a couple months, right? So I knew for me, I wanted to make it happen. I needed the income, and I made, you know, my first 5-figure check that month. And that was in February. So that was a big aha moment, just listening to the Dunns. His speech was really great. I really like Joel Dunn. I think he's really great. He's just normal, and I like where they came from and everything. But I think I don't know, just getting to events. I mean, the more I could afford to do things, I just really, I keep plugging in. I don't miss family calls. I don't miss Zooms. I try to get on all my girls' Zooms and parties if I can. One of my girls who's set to go diamond this month, I hopped on her team Zoom tonight. She's a really great girl, but she's a strong leader. She doesn't need me. But I try and really stay. My biggest aha is like, just really, I really try and take care of my team. I know which ones really want it. And just realizing the potential in this business, it's $1 million opportunity. And I mean, if you want to be making 5 figures a month, you have to be putting in the work to get that 5 figures a month. So going from diamond to double diamond was like the hardest promotion. But now, like, seeing where I am now, it was all worth it. Like, I don't go out on the weekends. I mean, I do now, but like, I want presidential so bad. I want that $50,000 bonus. I want all my girls promoting. The aha is seeing my girls promote and seeing their paychecks go up, and just really wanting what I have for my team's family, for my leaders' families, and all the other girls who are really working hard. Because I don't talk about the income to brag. I don't. I talk about it because we've paid off $30,000 in debt. We are totally debt free. And my husband says this all the time. He's like, thanks for never listening to me, because he sucked. He was being a jerk. He's like, get off your phone. He's like, you're always on your freaking phone. Like, what are you doing? But you know what? I didn't listen to him because I knew what I was doing for my family. I want this for my team. And you just have to listen to yourself and realize how bad you want something. I mean, some people don't want to make 5 figures a month, and that's fine. Maybe their spouses make a lot of money. Maybe they're really happy with their life right now, and that's fine. But I think you have to really, really need it and want it to be promoting. You have to. You have to.
You have to be hungry.
You have to be hungry. Yes. Yeah. I haven't stopped being hungry since I went to conference.
That's awesome.
And that was almost 2 years ago, January, when I just joined. And I'm like, it works like 24/7. You see my forehead's all like kind of gray there right now. It's because I have a really bad migraine right now, but I don't care because I'd rather talk to you guys. But it's true. Like, I don't let any excuses get in the way. I'm very tough like that. This business has really changed me as a person. Nothing really bothers me. Like, I feel bad if things happen, or people on my team, or things happen, but I want this so bad, and I want all my girls who want it so bad too to come with me, right? But I spend a lot of time on my business. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was on my phone all day.
And it's paying off, right? And then you can when you reach your goal, then your what's the word? Your focus and your goals, they're ever changing, right? You either relax it more, or you realize that you get hungrier for other people, because you realize what you can do for other people. Because that's the interesting journey of this that I've experienced. It's like you come in and it's like, okay, this is what I want, and so then you accomplish it, and then you realize, wait a second, it's amazing when like these people on your team are coming to you and saying, oh my God, like I paid this bill, or like you said, you just paid $30,000 in debt. That's amazing. So we want to help other people experience that same thing. And that's what it's all about. And that's what, when your feet hit the floor in the morning, it shouldn't be about, okay, I want, and how do I. It's about, okay, if I want to make $5,000 a month, I need to help this many people to get there. So it's about helping other people and I know you do that. You really focus on helping other people. So that's really a big part of your journey and why you're where you are. Which brings to the next question I was going to ask. Do you think that it's more important to pour into and work with the team that you have, or to be building new, or a nice balance?
I think ever since day one, I've really tried to help my team. There's so many of us now. I really just try and do Zooms and parties and events. We did a really good distributor event last week, and I got all my leaders to do videos. Sorry, I got something in my eye. And then I did like a video at the end, and just kind of But you know what? I really like to do a little bit of everything because I feel like I don't know. I remember Jackie saying to me, when you go up in your leadership roles and everything, you have to kind of keep changing what you're doing. And I think, like you said, once you get to your goal, for me, I don't really feel like I'm ever going to get to my goal because I want all my people on my team to like all be triple diamond. I want them all. I mean, the ones who work it, I mean, some of them, you know, the ones that complain, they never get on Zooms, they don't show up. It's okay. Like, I wish them well. And I want this for them, but I can't force anyone to do it. But I think I absolutely, when I have a new distributor, I have a new distributor who I talked to tonight, and she's going to join tomorrow. I ask everybody what their goals are so I know who I want to work with. And again, all my leaders are amazing. And I think I just kind of try and pour into everybody I can. But the biggest thing is I want all my leaders, like all my diamonds and up. Even there's a lot of rubies on my team that like, they're amazing. And there's girls who might not be at Ruby yet, but I know that they're amazing leaders. And for me, it's like, I want them to shine. I want them to take over the leadership role. Like, I don't need to be in their team chat all the time. I'm always in all their chats and their groups, but the more leaders I can produce and try and help and then produce leaders, I think that's how you make a successful business. For me, anyway. That's how my business is anyway.
Making it duplicatable so
Yeah.
that then it can carry on. Yeah, because if it's kind of like when I went live in your team page there and I said, you know, I wanted to be that person that I didn't want to be, but I became that person that people were coming to me for answers, and I thought that was great. But then I realized, wait a second, nobody knows how to then duplicate that forward because they don't know where I got the answers. So yeah, it's all about being duplicatable. And when you make it too complicated and nobody can copy you, then your business kind of stops going. My next question was going to be, what advice do you have on building relationships on social media?
Oh, building relationships takes time. I know I've planted seeds from maybe like 6 months ago, and they're all like signing up now. I think you really have to follow the 3-3 rule. If you're just posting on social media like once every other day or something, that's not. And if your goal is to build on social media, that's not going to work. People will not take you seriously. You have to follow the 3-3 rule. You have to build your network daily. Daily. You can't be adding like 5 people a day and like messaging them and telling them to join your team, because that's not going to work. You have to be super confident whether you feel like it or not, and you have to ask people. So basically how I build relationships, I add people every day. I keep track of all of them. I write down all their names. I comment, I like on their posts. I'll invite them to events. I'll be like, hey girl, I saw that, you know, you're really into, you know, like health or fitness or something. I really want to invite you to my event. And I do lots of prizes. I did a contest the other day, and it's funny. There's people watching you, and they're not necessarily liking or commenting on anything. And it's been like almost 2 years me doing this. And I've been having people reach out to me lately that are like, you know, I've really been watching you. And I did this big contest the other day. I like to do lots of contests. I like to send out samples to people. I like to just talk to people and meet new friends, because this business is, it's a relationship business with your team, with new people. I mean, we all have our flaws, and there's some things that we're better at than other people. But I know for me, I spend a lot of time on growing my relationships and just really putting myself out there. Like, I use Instagram too. But you have to have a lot of people. Like, you can't have like 200 people on Instagram and Facebook and expect that you're going to build like $1 million organization. You have to keep growing your relationships. And you have to, I know Jess sent me this video that I hadn't seen, and I shared it on my team page. It was really good. And I do a lot of those things, that the presidential and ambassador do anyway. Like, you just really have to learn and grow and find out what works for you. I know a lot of my girls are more one-on-one. I know Jackie likes to do parties. I know for me, I like to do a little bit of everything. So you have to find out what works for you and then just run with it if you're wanting to make a really great income.
Yeah, I agree with that. That reminds me of a couple of years ago, one of the best activities I ever did in my business, after listening to a call, I think it was either Cami or Denise that had done with a girl named Katie. I'm not going to try and butcher her last name, so I won't even mention it. she had been in the business and on the team page for something like a year or 2 years and never started. And then all of a sudden the fire was lit and she hit high noon. She was ready to go and she started. And what she did was she sat down with her boyfriend and she wrote down a list of her weaknesses and a list of her strengths. And it's great to do this with a partner, your boyfriend, a husband, a friend, sister, whatever, or by yourself, but it's good with somebody else and just ask them, so what are some of my weaknesses? What are some of my strengths? And you write them down and then you can see, okay, like you might have been focusing more on your weaknesses than on your strengths. Maybe your strengths are like you're really good at writing or you're good at talking to people. And maybe your weaknesses might be that you're super duper shy or you get nervous meeting new people or something. So focus on your strengths and everybody can find some strengths to use in this business because like you said, there's so many different ways we can build this business. And so if you're feeling stuck, like I don't know what to do and I don't know where I fit in, start there with your strengths and weaknesses. And then if you still don't know what to do, present that list to myself or Tanis or somebody and we can help you and go, okay, so if these are your strengths, you would be really great at going and doing this or going and doing that. So that was a big, big change for me in my business when I did that. I really advise doing that. So my next question that you kind of have mentioned.
And finding their colors, finding out what people's colors are. That's huge. That's
the color personality for sure, because it helps you to know, should I keep it short with this person? Should I give them a lot of information? And anyone who doesn't know the colors, like you should do the training, but I'll summarize it super short. A yellow likes to help people. A green loves information and facts. A red, it loves making money and stop talking, get to the point. And a blue loves to have fun. So if you're speaking with the blue, you can mention how fun the business is. You're speaking with the green, give them all the information that they want. Speaking with the red, don't send them tons of information. So
I don't send anyone information. I honestly, when I sign up to distributors, I do not send a lot of information. I think that's the biggest mistake ever. And writing down huge paragraphs and sending videos and people that you're going to scare people off. That never worked for me. I remember when I first joined, I thought that was going to be the best idea. Just give everybody all this information. But no, people want to see why you're doing the business. Like they want to hear your story. Like if you don't have a story and if you don't have a reason why you're working the business, like I got on the phone call with 2 people earlier. I'm doing a Zoom tomorrow with this one girl who I haven't met, but I met her online. And then this other guy I met through this other girl, and he's thinking about doing this for his girlfriend, and she lives in Miami and he lives here. I don't know. He's a really nice guy though. But you just, in this business, it's not who you know, it's who you will meet and who you will know, right? I think everybody's so wrapped up, about thinking about who they know. Like some of my most amazing I did a post today for girls on my team, and I did like a shout out. And out of the 12 girls, only 2 of them I knew before, right? So, I mean, you can work with anyone on your downline. There's this one girl who's underneath another girl that I know on my team. This girl's a total rock star. And I've already told her this, and she's on this Zoom right now. And I've told her this. I'm like, she just looked at me. And she's amazing. I met her once at the One Team, One Mission. But like, I think you just know which people are going to come into your business and they're going to just rock it. And if you don't have those people in your business, you will go and find them and attract them, right? But you have to be putting out what you want. Because if you're just going to sit around and put some posts up on Facebook and just wait for someone to contact you, like that's not going to happen. I was ready. So when Lisa posted on Facebook, I was ready to join. Like I was ready. I watched someone for a year. And I'm happy I joined how I did, I'm happy I joined how I did, and I was ready to join. And sorry, my kid's crying right now. But you just have to find out what works for you.
I was just writing a note here, something that you said that I wanted to make sure I touched base on.
Sorry, one second.
There's something else you said. Now I'm trying to remember what it was. So backing up, there's something that you said that reminded me of a video I watched, basically, where this guy was asking, this lady was asking a guy, like, I'm trying to build a business and it's taking too long, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, he asked the question, is it that you're lacking belief or you're lacking patience?
Okay.
because a lot of us have belief, but we just don't have the patience, right? You have to have patience. Patience is the number one thing. Patience basically is that decision to commit no matter what. You know, no matter how long it's going to take me, I'm going to commit. And I'm going to have days where it's frustrating when I want to quit and I want it now, but it's just not that, then it's not going to work that way. So if you decide to not only have belief, but also patience, then you will get there for sure. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know we all get frustrated. I get frustrated.
Yeah. We all do.
But Steph, sorry, I'm chiming in for a second. On that video too, they said it's belief and patience, but then it's also like you want, when they always say you want everything to move fast, like you want momentum in your business too. So you have to have a fine line of like making sure you're building tons and tons of momentum, but then you still have to be patient within that because it takes people till they're high noon to join, and then you have to believe in yourself even every day when it's hard. So they'll always be creating momentum, but as well as having patience for when it actually like flourishes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love that. Momentum is key. Momentum is the hardest thing to create, but once you've got it, you can run with it, you know, and you just want to, and it's much easier to keep your momentum going than it is to rebuild it again.
Yeah, that's
sure.
huge momentum. And that's why when I get to promotions, I think a lot of people get to a promotion, they want to stay safe, but you want your team to catch up with you, right?
And they think that they've made it.
Yeah. I think people get safe. To me, I'm like really hungry and I just want to keep going. I mean, yeah, great. I want to get to ambassador and I know I'll do it. I mean, honestly, I don't care if I'm a black diamond one day. That's okay. It's okay. I mean, if it happens, I'm not going to turn it down, but my goal is ambassador and I want all my team to go ambassador, right? So then, okay, maybe we'll all become black diamonds. Maybe we'll all become black diamonds on this page, but that's my goal. That's always been my goal. I mean, going double diamond was insane for me. Like that was insane, you know? And then going triple diamond, you guys, I was like literally so sick. I remember talking to Jackie the next day because I was sitting there at midnight watching it switch over, and I thought everything was great, and I knew who my double and my two diamonds were, and I was just like, oh my gosh, why isn't it switching over? And I was just like, and Steph, I remember talking to you, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And the next morning it still didn't switch over, and I was freaking out. I was like literally sick. I was like, okay, I missed something. We missed something. And I was bawling, and there was no bonus or anything, but I worked really hard to get there. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then it switched over. I thought I was literally sick that whole day. Like I stayed home and I like slept because I didn't sleep for like the whole week. A lot of things can happen in just a couple days and promoting. Like every single promotion, I didn't sleep for like a week or the whole month.
You know, it's a good reminder that if you want to promote, you got to reach out to somebody. Unless you totally know what you're doing, you got to reach out to, which I doubt it. You got to reach out to somebody because you want somebody to double check your chart.
Yeah.
You want somebody to double check things maybe that you're overlooking. I remember Jackie missed a promotion one month because one 400 box wasn't filled.
I know. Oh my
She
God.
was waiting for it to turn over, and it didn't turn over. And Joe just said to her, "Well, did that one person have 400?" And she was like, "Oh my God," and everything else was filled, so she had to do it again the next month. So
that's like a huge
things like that for sure. And that's why.
That could be like $10,000. It could be.
Yeah, it could be for sure.
Well, maybe not
depending on the promotion. So reach out, and if your upline is not available or maybe it doesn't know how to help you, just keep going up. There will be somebody in your upline that will help you, guaranteed. So never feel like a victim there. So So one of the most important questions I want to ask you was about verbiage, because I know a lot of people ask about that. You often get on the phone to close the deal and sign distributors. So could you share a little bit about that? Certain things maybe you always say or whatever.
Honestly, if you're just going to send someone a message, they don't really seem very important. They don't, if you get on the phone with them or on a Zoom with them or meet up with them in person, I meet up with so many people. But most of my distributors are not where I live. So I have to get on the phone with them or do a Zoom, right? Not everybody wants to do Zoom, but you can do FaceTime or Skype or whatever. If they don't feel comfortable, just get on the phone with them. I honestly just say like, I usually say honestly the same thing to each person. I mean, if they're different colors and everything, and I had this girl, she was I was talking to her the other day. She was just kind of, Jay's freaking out because Harley won't go to bed. Anyway, I've trained him very well. Anyway, so I had this girl who called me the other day because I was signing her up. I met her on Instagram. And you guys, she's like the nicest person ever, but I'd never talked to her before, so I didn't know what to expect. But you know what? She signed up and she's like the greatest girl ever. So it doesn't matter who you're talking to on the phone. Just act like they're your best friend. You know them already. I'm always like, hey girl, how's it going? I get on the phone with them. I'm like, I'm so excited, do you want to join the business? Or, if they're already coming to you and they're going to join the business, I say it's awesome. I'm like, so many of my customers become distributors, use the product, make money, and and help people, right? I always say the same thing. You can use the products, make money, and help people. And I switched around a little bit. Most people I talk to for like at least an hour, I feel. I want to learn about them. I'm asking them questions. I like to keep it short and sweet. I will always tell them my story. If you're not telling them your story, you need to get a story. Don't just say, oh, I joined It Works because it's fun. You want to join my team? Like, you need to have a story. Like, do you want to be home with your kids? Do you need the income? Do you want to bring your husband home because you need more money? I don't know, whatever. If your story, like people's stories, like, I'm not going to say it sells it, but people want to know what your story is. People want to know why you're passionate about doing what you do. So make sure you have a good story. Like, you don't need to lie and say like you sold your couch to buy your business kit. Like, if I know a couple of girls on my team, Victoria, for example, I know she joined to stay home with her daughter, right? And, and not do her business anymore, but she wants to do this because she loves the products and she loves helping people, right? Not everybody has to join the business, to become ambassador. I mean, not saying that she's not going to go ambassador. I'm just saying, like, not everybody's goals are to go ambassador and make all this money. It's all about helping people, right? So really make it all about them, put the spotlight on them, and ask them why they're joining. Hear from them and listen to what they have to say. That's the biggest thing. Listen to what they're saying to you. Ask them what their goals are. Why are they doing this? Do they need more money? Are they having a hard time at their job? I tell people, I'm like, I was lost. Like, I needed something in my life, not only the financial part, but I needed something for me. Like, and I'm proud. I'm super proud of what I've accomplished. But I also worked really hard for it, right? So it didn't just like fall in my lap. People better get a business builder kit and they think they're just going to make all this money doing nothing. It happened like we had like a girl quit oh my gosh. I think she had been in the business for a couple of weeks and she's like, this isn't working. And I said to her, I'm like, well, honey, what are you doing? Like, that's what I said to her. I got on the phone with her. I like to do more tough love now because I don't know. I think sometimes if I'm too nice, I don't know. I like the more tough love approach. And I said, well, honey, like, it's been a couple of weeks. Like, what do you expect? Like, what do you expect? What do you expect to happen? You put up a couple posts and that's it. I remember putting up my first post on Facebook and I remember I was so nervous and I was talking to Lisa and I was like, oh, I don't know what to post. And I was so nervous. And then as soon as I posted, I thought everybody would like message me and want to become customers and distributors. Well, they don't. Hello. I watched a girl for a year and she's a millionaire now. Like, they don't do that. People watch you and watch you and watch you. And I also tell people, like, how long did it take for you to sign up? How long did you watch your offline? And then they're like, oh yeah. Like, this girl watched me for like 8 months, this other girl, and she was willing to quit after like 2 weeks because no one was joining her team, but she wasn't doing anything. And nothing against her. I mean, but you can't expect to get distributors and customers if you're not trying to get distributors and customers. So
that's an aha moment for me where you just said that you asked them, well, how long did it take you? Like, I just thought of so many people in my business that I should have asked that question that came and went so fast that definitely watched me for a long time. And that's a really, really good question.
I've been saying that a lot to people because.
How long have you been watching me? That's what you say? How long have you been watching me, or how long did you watch me?
And then even people who are coming to me now about they said, oh my gosh, Tanis, I've been watching you. And like, you know, I'm not saying to like fake it or anything, but even when I went diamond and I had a lot of people fall off and quit, like keep saying that you're going for double diamond and, you know, you're going to get a bonus. I mean, you're not lying. You're telling people where you're going. People want to know where you're going in your business. People want to know that they're joining with someone who has a vision for them and their team, and they're in it for the long haul. Like I have so many people in different direct sales companies, and their posts are just boring. Like I just scroll past them because they're boring. I'm not like, nothing against those people, but I wish people knew we have all the tools how to succeed, and we have everything. I mean, you can follow top earners, you can follow anyone. You have to make people excited and drawn to you, or else they're not going to join. They're just not going to join.
I had a girl who watched me for a year on Facebook, and then she called me out of the blue. I hadn't seen her for several years, and she's like, I want to join your team. And she's like, I've been watching you for a year, and we didn't even have each other as Facebook friends.
Oh yeah, that happens too. Keep your profile public. I've been adding people that I see have been following me, and I'm like, hey girl, thanks for the follow. Building relationships is everything. And on Instagram, I don't know, Instagram didn't work for me, but now it's working for me because I continue to add people and I'm just having fun with it. So now, but Facebook works the best for me. But I will wrap people, and I do meet people other ways too. I don't go up to people randomly and hand them Blitz cards. I don't do that. I mean, if I'm at like the post office and I'm talking to someone, like, and they see it on my purse, yeah, but I don't go up to like a random stranger on the street and give them a Blitz card. I don't do that.
So in the majority of the people that you're closing the deal with, whether it's a customer or a distributor, are the majority of them happening after you get on the phone with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I always get on the phone with people.
The things that you were saying about, like, you know, when you say so many of my customers become distributors and you can use a product, what were those things that you had said that you say you can use the products, you can make money, and you said something else?
And help people.
And help people.
Not necessarily that in that order. You're already using the products. You love you can help people and make an income.
So what I like about this is that had these things been written down, it could push somebody away, right? And it doesn't mean that when you write things and people go away that what you said wasn't true. It's just maybe they need to hear it from your voice. And so you can be so much more effective on a phone call than in chatting over several weeks and trying to.
It's a waste of time. I don't have time to message people back and forth. I voice message people all the time because some people might just not want to talk on the phone.
That was going to be the next question, is how much are you using voice messaging? I
think if you're just messaging someone and you're giving them all the information, this is a business partner who's signing up with you. It's not just some Joe Schmo who's signing up with you and you're going to sign them up. I know a lot of people who sign people up and never talk to them again. I mean, it happens all the time, but people just don't know, right? I really try and treat the person really special from the beginning, because to me, it's like, this person could be your next diamond. This person could go ambassador one day. And I like to enroll as many people as possible. I mean, because I want to help my team, but also you have that enrolling, right? I mean, when you personally enroll someone and you understand how the compensation plan works, I mean, it's really exciting, right? I mean, I know my enroller bonuses and all that, like in bonuses, is huge on my paycheck. Like, you know, and so you want to make that person feel special. I'm not saying just to make money off them. That's not what I'm saying. But you want to make people feel special, because I know I wouldn't join with someone unless, you know, they were a nice person, you know. I joined with someone who was a nice person. I mean, you know, and I mean, you're not going to join with someone who's a jerk to you or just sending you all this information just to close you, right? You want to join with someone who is excited and is passionate and is telling you where they're going. I always tell people where I'm going in my business. I'm like, oh my gosh, my team's amazing. Like, you have to get people excited. It's just going to be like, hi, I want you to join my team. It's great. Like, you have to get people excited. If you're not,
and then you're making it about yourself. Like, there's nothing that turns me off more than when people say my team, join my team. And it's like, what about me? Like, our team, or we do this together, or something like that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I don't forget to say this, because it's so important. When you said to make people feel special, You guys ever hear that quote that people will forget what you said and they'll forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel?
Yeah.
So when you get off that phone call, don't worry about like, oh my God, like I got a phone call with a prospect. I need to have like a list of facts and figures and like everything in front of me, and I got to know everything. And that prevents people from getting on the phone call. Honestly, they're going to forget it all. You just get on the phone and just be their friend, just be there for them. Let the conversation happen. Like you said, bring up those couple of key facts that about you can make money and all that kind of thing, but making them feel special, because when you hang up, they're going to forget all the nitty gritty information anyways. And that's for training. Like the training stuff should be done after they're in the system. Send them the information. So when people want more information or you feel like you're giving them too much information, you can just worry about that afterwards. Like get them in the system and then we can focus on training.
People are joining you first and then the business. Yeah. That's the biggest thing I'll ever say. They're joining you first and then the business. If you're a crappy person, I'm not saying if you haven't signed up, your distributors are crappy. That's not what I'm saying. But people aren't going to join with you unless they like you. I mean,
I like that. I wrote that down.
It's super important. I mean, I've had people who have been friends with presidentials and ambassadors, and they join me because they're like, you always seem so excited and passionate, and you know, you love it works like 24/7. I have had people join my team and they've said that to me, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm saying that if you make people feel special, there's people who just sign people up and never speak to them as customers. I really take care of my customers. I try and be there for my team as much as possible. This is a relationship business. And if you treat people like, you know, like they're special and you care about them, you know, they're going to join you because you want to make people feel special. I mean, that's key. That's key. I mean, most of my customers, I hardly have any customers now because they all become distributors. I build those relationships like crazy. I always tell my team this, that I get so many distributors, I can't get customers to save my life. I mean, yeah, I do get customers, but my goal is always to try and get but my main goal is signing up distributors and helping them get customers.
That's great. I love that you go back and turn your customers into distributors. I think that's something that a lot of us can easily overlook. Any tips on turning? So what do you do when you have a loyal customer? Are you offering them the opportunity like from your first follow-up call, or do you have a system? Constantly mention it?
I offer it to them like the first day before they even sign up as a customer. I offer it to them. I say, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm totally casual about it. I got it, Tara. I know what you mean. I say, hey, just want to let you know, like if you want to become a distributor, some people just don't even think about that. And you have to offer it to them and for them to say yes or no. I'm just like, hey girl, just so you know, if you want to become a distributor for a little bit more, you could use the products, make some income and help people. Some people just aren't interested, and some people are like, oh, I've never thought about that. And then I get them on the sneak peek for the page. I think that's the biggest thing, getting them on the page. I know I did that even when I was on Jackie's page, and people welcoming people and then seeing the more people you're inviting on the team page, whether they join right now or they join in like months from now, getting them onto the page and them seeing the community. But I always follow up with them. If they just decide to be a customer, I follow up with them. I say, let me know when you get, I check in with them in a couple days, they got it. I really, really hype it up. Oh, you got your greens. Okay. This is how you're going to do them. And I get them excited. I either Facebook message them, or I talk to them on the phone, or text message. I spend a lot of time on stuff like that because it's super important, because those people are either going to become customers or they'll keep ordering and you'll have that volume, or they're going to become distributors and they're going to buy products, and then they'll know how you treated them, and then they're going to do that. Right. So I think that's really important. After they are already LCs at third month, do you ask about being a DT then, because they're using products? I remind them again. If some people after like the third month, I know there's an ambassador that does this, and I actually did this, and before I heard she did this, I always say like, you're on your third month right now. Have you thought about becoming a distributor? I always say that. I mean, some people just might not be interested right now, or they might not be interested in ever, right? But if you don't ask them and you just let them cancel, like you're not doing your job, right? So treat your customers and your potentials and anyone on your Facebook really, because everyone's a potential. Like I've had people message me lately who I never would have thought. I'm like shocked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how long have you been watching me? And they're like, oh my gosh, Tanis, like, you know, I see how well you're doing. And I'm like, oh, thanks so much. And I always get them on the phone or I voice message them. So they hear in your voice how you feel.
Can I just chime in? Candace, or Tanis, Candace just left the meeting, so I said her name. Tanis, my favorite thing you told me that's worked really well for me is you said when you have a new loyal customer sign up, you send them a little personal card and just like thank them for becoming a customer. Doesn't have to be anything, whatever, extravagant, but it just shows people that you care, right? And that's what I've always taken away from you is that you take such good care of your customers, and that's the whole point of it is you take care of them and you show like it's a great company, we have good products, but you're also like have someone who cares about how your results are going, and if something's not working, offering you something else. And then that's how I think you have so much success bringing them into the business, because you're just like, they're so nice about that. And that changed my business a lot when you talked to me about that. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, customer service is everything. I know that for me too. I won't go somewhere if I had bad service. I've always said that. And if I'm at a restaurant and I had like the greatest waiter, Jay always like makes fun of me, but I want to speak to the manager and I want to like shout out that person, give them congratulations, because honestly, that's the biggest thing about this business. If you are thoughtful and you're kind and you care about people, people want to be a part of that, right? I'm not saying it's just me who does that. There's a lot of people who do stuff like that. Jess is doing that now too. And Jess is amazing. And Jess will become diamond because she's amazing and she puts in the work. She's awesome. But no, it's true. And I did a contest the other day and I always pick my winners, and I will send out wraps to people. I will send out green samples. I'll send out chews, wows. I did that and I had 15 winners. So I'm making them all, again, writing them all little notes. I have everything wrapped up. I did that today and I'm going to send them out tomorrow. And I told all of them that they all have to tag me and post it on their Facebook.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like 15 wraps, but whatever. You know what?
Well, I mean, it could even just be little set. Like if you don't have that, it could be like, you know, a little thing with a wow and greens on the go.
I've never done anything like this, but honestly, all those people who I made the winners, I think they will all become distributors or customers, and I'll write them a little note, and a little bit goes a long way. And I mean, I think even with my team, I do contests with my team and, you know, making people feel special. You know, I'm going to do a contest again with my team for everybody gets their 4 loyal customers, gets the Christmas cash. They're going to be in a contest for like an It Works or something. Right. And all my girls who promote, or anyone who's like doing a great job. Like I had a girl who last month and I did like a contest with my team and stuff. And one of the girls really deserved it. Another girl, I feel like she just deserved it because she's been trying. I mean, I do stuff like that too. I mean, I think it's really important. People on your team who might just need that extra love or might need that extra, who knows? I know everyone has something going on in their life and they need something. So I think if you're really taking the time to treat people, you know, just remember whatever you're doing right now, whether you have your own business or you work somewhere or you're with clientele right now, people will like you more and want to do what you're doing and join you if you're a good person and you care, right? I'm not going to get all sappy here, but it's true. Like, I know I love going to a restaurant and I have a nice waiter. It changes everything. But if I have a waiter and he's shitty, the experience sucks, right? Sorry about the swear. No one cares about that. But I mean, it's the same thing when I go anywhere. If I went to 7-Eleven the other day, I had to get some milk. The guy was so nice. I'm like, thanks, you're so nice. And he's like, oh, I like my job. Well, he loves his job and he's always so nice, this guy. So like, it doesn't matter what you do, but in our business, especially if you're going to take the time and be thoughtful and kind and take care of people, you know, you want to teach them to do the same. And that's more duplicatable to me than some people who bring in like 30 distributors a month and they're doing their whole business themselves, right? I mean, just everybody can be kind and thoughtful and everybody, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I know it's getting late here. What time is it?
Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here with one thing here, and then I got one more question and we'll wrap it up. One thing that I don't know who told me this, but something that I like is that your loyal customers will become, what is it? Your loyal customers will be your best distributors, and your distributors will become your best customers. Right? So your customers will wind up being your best distributors, and then your distributors will wind up being your best customers. And on that note, when you're talking about how so you follow up with your customers and then you offer them the business, I want to remind you guys that if you've offered somebody the business and they say no and then they become a customer, don't think that they won't become a distributor just because they said no back then. Things change once we start the products. Like, that's the whole thing, is following up. Is like they might totally change their mind once they get on the product.
Following up is everything. Like I ask people all the time, they say no to me, and then maybe a month later they'll say yes.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm kind of pushy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, not pushy, like I force people to sign up, but I'm pretty bold with people. I'm like, girl, come on, just sign up. You want to do this. And then they're like, oh yeah, let's do it. You know, like,
you have fun with it.
Yeah, I don't force people to ever sign up. If someone's like, no, Tanis, like I don't, I'm like, I totally understand that. Because you want people to want to sign up. You don't want to force them. I never will want someone to sign up and just get them to sign up to have a spot as a distributor. I will not do that, because you know what? It's not worth it if they don't want to do it. And it's more work for you too. I never want people to want to just force to sign up. I want people to want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
okay, so I have one more question.
Okay. It's late.
So the last question, and then if anyone, and in the meantime, if anyone has questions right now, can you write them in the chat so that if it's something we didn't cover, then she can mention it, and then we'll wrap up this awesome Zoom. Sorry, my last question was, you know, all of us are gonna make mistakes. Like, we're all gonna make tons of mistakes, and that's never gonna end. We're always gonna be making mistakes, but it's part of the process, right? So if you could go back and do it all again, what mistakes would you avoid?
Doing too much for people. And you know what? I like how my business went. I learned a lot after I went diamond and people quit. The whole bunch of girls that quit, and I know they're on my Facebook, and I know they're watching me and thinking, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have quit. Because you know what? You know which girls they were, Steph. You know some of them. You met them. And they could have been so amazing. And one was so close to diamond. That's why I was like going to get close to double diamond right away, you know, but then I had to rebuild. You know what? I really wouldn't change anything, because I think, and that's why I like to share my story with other distributors, because I want them to know, like, yeah, I got to diamond quick, but then getting to double was hard. Like, I had to rebuild, and I had to, you know, just keep going and wait. As Monique says, wasting time on girls who weren't serious. Yeah, you can't waste your time on people. Like, I don't want to say waste my time, but you want to work with people who want it. You know, people have to bring in distributors and customers. Like, they have to keep trying to do that. Like, you can't do it for them. I'm always happy to help my team. That's my job too. But I also have to worry about my business and where I need volume and where I need distributors, because I'm building to ambassador, right? So I want my girls promoting, but it's also up to them. Nobody did anything for me. Nobody gave me distributors. Nobody gave me customers. Nobody ever gave me volume. So my biggest thing is I'm really proud that I was able to get where I am, and my team is amazing. Like, I'm not saying I did all of that, because I have amazing girls on my team, but I think people compare themselves. And, you know, I don't think I would change anything. Honestly, I really don't think I would change anything, because, yeah, don't waste your time on people. Like, but I don't give up on people anyway. I mean, there's people on my team who have like deleted me on Facebook. I mean, there's been some crazy girls. There's been crazy girls. Like, there's been some crazy girls, and not necessarily anyone I knew, but they just had maybe had other stuff in their business. And I like what Mark says, you pray them in and you pray them out. You bless them in, you bless them out. I don't know what he says. Like, it's something really religious. Like, I'm not super religious, but it's something you pray people in, you pray people out. Like, if people don't want it, and the biggest thing, the people who get you to diamond and double and triple, I mean, the greatest thing about our compensation plan is that you can always rebuild. You don't need to have the same person. You know, if someone doesn't want it, oh my gosh, there's so many girls who I want it for, but I can't. I have a couple girls. I have one girl who was close to diamond, and I love her, and she's still great, but she has stuff going on, right? So if people have stuff going on in their lives, I can't force them to want them to do it, but you just have to focus on what you want and get to work. If you're following the steps to success every single month, you will get where you need to go. And I follow the steps to success every month, but most of the time I bring in more distributors than customers, but.
But it's like you said, but that's your strength, right? So you focus on your strength, and that's why you're doing so well.
But I also told my team, I know I need customers too, right? So I've been doing more product stuff. Oh, Jessica got awesome. Jessica as a customer. Hey, but ask that person if they want to be a distributor. I ask everybody, honestly.
It's funny because we became friends. We became friends a while ago, and we met up at the park. I don't know where we connected. We connected somewhere, made friends. We're like besties instantly. And I talked to her about the business, and she's like, "It's not me at all." You guys, I just saw her post. Someone posted on a Swap and Shop site a hair, skin, and nails post without, like, the compliant ones, like without saying like you get a discount, blah blah. And I saw her comment on it, and I'm like, messaged her. I'm like, "Girl, I'm like, I saw that shit." I'm like, "You're buying it through me." So now we're meeting on Tuesday to go have our boys play, and she's gonna sign up. So funny. I'm like, "Erin, really? Like, that's my gig, man. Like, you're not going through this girl Swap and Shop. I don't think so."
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm going up now. Yep, that's me. Yep, it is. Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
So guys, so we've been on for just over an hour and 15 minutes here. Does anyone have any more questions? I mean, that was an amazing Zoom call. I think that you covered so much, and I personally got a full page of notes here. So I'm excited, and I hope that everyone else got a lot of value out of it. I'm sure they did. Is there any other questions, or Tanis, anything you wanted to add on there that we didn't talk about?
Thanks, honey. I think you have to decide what you want and then work accordingly. I think if you want to be executive, you put in a little bit of work and you can get to executive. There's nothing wrong with executive. I'm not saying that. But if you want to become like presidential diamond, you have to be putting in the work, right? You can't just be going and just trying to see what happens. You have to be, like, I know Jess was saying this, you have to be doing income producing activities. You have to be not wasting your time worrying what everyone else is doing. You have to be doing parties. You have to be wrapping people. You have to be consistent and excited. You have to be doing things that will grow your business. If you're going to take off 3 days on Facebook, but Facebook is the main way you grow your business, you're not going to grow your business. If you're more belly to belly, you have to be doing parties. If you're more getting people on the phone and meeting up with people, then you have to do that. You have to keep building your network and ask for referrals. I ask for referrals all the time for my customers. You have to learn how to network properly. You can't network. You can't net wish. You have to network. You have to work your business. I mean, to me, it's crazy that like people, I mean, I remember when I got my first 5-figure check, I was like, holy crap, right? Like, that's insane. But then Jackie's like, well, Tanis, you worked your butt off. I mean, Steph, you've said that too, right? Like, it just, you know, I think people look at people like anyone who's diamond and above and they think, aw, you're welcome, Trudy. I love Trudy. I think people look at people like, you know, diamond and above and they think, or even Ruby, I mean, any accomplishment you make, right? Celebrate your success. But I think people look at people and they think they just got there, right? Like, oh my gosh, like, the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into like promotions, like I almost had a nervous breakdown when I went triple. But I told myself I was going to be triple diamond by the time I went to green carpet, or I wasn't allowing myself to go. I told myself I was going to be presidential by the time I got on the cruise. But you know what? It didn't happen. But that doesn't mean I go throw it out the window and go cry and go sit and stay at triple diamond forever. That for me, I just know that the date wasn't the right date. And it wasn't the right time. It doesn't mean I go throw my goals out the window and start over.
Or that you're a failure, or that you can't do it, or whatever. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm on this page. It's called The Escape. And like Susan Wade and Christina Watts and all these people are on it for people who are running to ambassador, already ambassador. And these people all have the same problems. They all have the same problems. Like they all they all just didn't give up and remember their why and just kept working, right? They all complain about the same thing. It's funny. It's just a normal group of girls just at a higher level complaining about the same things that we all complain about, right? About, in our business. So we're all just normal people. And I started as a distributor too. We all started at the same place. I mean, if you want to go diamond by Christmas, you can. Just get to work, do parties, do one-on-ones. That's what got me to diamond.
Getting the rap on people.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do social media and it's not working for you, you got to do something else. I will say that until the cows come home. If what you're doing isn't working, you have to do something else, or it's not going to work.
I agree.
So that's the biggest thing I would say. What does your referral ask look like? What do you say? What do I say? I always just say, do you have any friends that would be interested in the wraps? And I do lots of parties for people too. We do lots of people who join who maybe can't afford it. And we do lots of pre-selling of wraps. I meet people online all the time, and you never know who might be amazing. They just can't afford the kit,
I'm sorry. There's something that I wanted to ask you, and we probably should go, but I know this is a really big part of your business. Online parties.
Oh, yeah.
Really talk about that.
Online parties.
How big is that in your business? Like, how often are you doing online parties, and is it for your whole team? Is it your prospects? Is it launching somebody? Is it everything? Like, what does that look like for you?
I have one every day this week. You know what I do for my team about twice a month, but they all do for their teams now too, right? So that whole time I was diamond, I kept doing parties. None of my team showed up. I mean, I have like Victoria and Robin and people that have stuck with it. They all kept showing up, but I just kept doing parties. I was upset that my a whole bunch of team like quit and didn't do anything, but I just kept doing them. And I signed customers and distributors, and I kept going, and I signed customers and distributors. I know some girls who are frustrated on their team because they have people who might not be working. I mean, that happened to me too. I mean, I still have people who don't work, but I don't let that bother me because, I mean,
it's just a component of this business. It's just a part.
People quit. People quit. Yeah, I do parties. Honestly, I do lots of parties, but a lot of my girls do their own parties too. So we do maybe we do 2 or 3 team ones a month. I think if we do them once a week, it's too much. I think, I know Robin's doing one for her team. She did one today. She's doing, we're going to do something for Black Friday. If there's ever a BOGO sale or anything like that, we'll do like a pop-up one. We'll just do it for like the whole day. Steph, I know you and I did that one day for a double kit. I don't remember what it was, but I think, and always make them public. Always make them public.
So you make them public, and then do you switch it up? Is it different content all the time, or do you kind of rotate the parties? With this one's about the opportunity, and then this one's about the product.
I know. I was doing an opportunity one last Wednesday, and I was freaking out because Jay was out of town, and I was Harley was next to me, like trying to sleep, and I was on my phone, and my one that I had planned to do wasn't coming up, and I was freaking out. So then I went to my past events, and one of my diamonds, Andrea, had a really good one. I was like, yes. So then I started just using different pictures and using her posts and changing them around. And in between the posts, I did videos of all my girls sharing about why they joined It Works. And people want to see other people's stories too. And then I just did a quick video at the end thanking people for coming. And I was like sitting in the dark with my kid. And I was like, thanks everybody for coming. And I was just really real. Like I did my hair tonight. But normally I look... Well, it was like a disaster zone, and I thought, okay, I don't want to look like a total bum when I'm talking to everyone. But no, I think people just want to be like, I think some of these girls, like the Jocelyn Yates, who all have their modeling photos, like to me, that's not really, like I saw her on the cruise, and I think, hey, it's great, it works for her, right? But not everyone's going to have like model photos and all their photos on Instagram, like professionally done, right? That doesn't, I don't know. I like people's more style, like, Jade Hooper, who's just like a real person, I love those videos on your timeline from your teammates. They were so inspiring.
That sounds awesome. So you have your team post, what is it? Like they upload a video, or do they go live in the event, or what?
I had them all do videos. I want to get a whole bunch of them other than doing videos. I hate doing videos, but I've been trying to do them lately. Just, that's the thing. Like you have to keep doing things that'll get you out of your comfort zone, right? So if I know I'm struggling in an area, I need to keep working on that, right? So I can be better, right? Because I want to keep learning, even though like I'm at a, uh, great part for me right now. I want to keep on growing, right? I want my team to keep on growing. So if they're going to be doing videos, I want to be doing videos too. Tara. Oh, Tara, I want you to do a video. Yeah, I want all my girls to do videos. I think honestly, anyone on my team, whether you're a brand new distributor or you're going for Ruby or anything, I think it's good hearing different stories from different people because all their stories are different and they're all successful in their business. All the people who I had do the videos. And they're all different, so I like doing that. So I do a post and I do a video, then in 2 posts, then a video, then 2 posts, then a video. And it was about an hour long. But then Jess saw it and it was public. Jess saw it because she's friends with me on Facebook. But I mean, I like doing them. I think it's great. I think it gets people could be watching and never like or comment on anything. See, Tara, you're going to do a video.
Do you leave your events up? You don't worry about somebody can go and steal the prospects and stuff because I find that can be such a time-consuming energy sucker that you just leave it, just trust, have faith and just whatever.
I don't.
Then it's there, and you can, like you said, when you're in a pinch and you need to do a party, you can just go to it and you just kind of copy and paste it.
Yeah,
right?
And then I changed it up a little bit. And change the pictures up, but I was like, yes, she left it up. So, and then I like to do winners, and I always like to give out, I'll message someone and be like, oh, you won some greens or you won a wrap. And honestly, every single person I've sent a wrap to, they've become a distributor.
And you choose your winners.
One of them. And I choose the people.
And do you let your team then decide if they have winners for the people they've invited, and you're just choosing your own winners, and then you say, okay, message me your winners and stuff? I agree with that because
I always choose the winner, always.
With people that really don't have any interest and they just
want something for free. No, I had one girl she just kept messaging me and commenting. I don't even know her, and she just wants something for free. Well, no, I'm gonna pick her. I pick someone who I think would be a great distributor, and I see something in them, and I think they'd be a rock star, and I really grow the relationship with them. I send them a wrap. I get them really excited about the wrap. I tell them how amazing the business is, and I do this. I honestly probably send out at least 5 wraps a month, but now I'm about to send out 15. Oh my god!
Wrap rewards.
I just had that today. I don't
have wrap rewards though because I move all my customers.
That's true when you move them. Well, now you have 3 from conference, right?
I sent Confianza in an envelope, 4 pills to a girl and some greens because she was complaining about anxiety, and we built a relationship online.
That's awesome.
And that's the post I posted on the team page today. And she messaged me because she's had it for about 3 days, and she's like, I'll let you know. And she messaged me that huge message just saying she took it and she's so happy with how it changed just one day, how she feels. And it's that's why you do it. That's why if people are sometimes so leery. Obviously if you can get people to just sign up and they get the products and they can just try them, that's great. But people are more hesitant. Send them something. Let them try it. Just bite the bullet and just do it, because that's where I've had so much success. So much. They're just oh my God, and they're so grateful you sent it to them. It's kind of they don't feel obligated, but they know you took the time and you wrote them the card and you spent the money, So I don't know. If you aren't sending samples or doing the contest Tanis does, and she's the one who taught me too. You're pick the right winners. And I'm that's brilliant. Because why do you want to send it to some person who just wants free stuff all the time? It doesn't make sense. But yeah. Sorry, I just keep chiming in because I'm so excited. It's the best Zoom ever.
Just what, go the extra mile, and it pays off. Honestly, I feel I spend a lot of time. Yeah, Tara, you go. Come on, you go. We're gonna wrap this up anyway. But
yeah, we're gonna go now.
Honestly, if you put in that extra, you will succeed. But if you're just gonna kind of see how it goes, I don't think you really get anywhere, right? You have to be excited and passionate about it. I mean, I have bad days where I wake up and I'm this morning I woke up to a million messages, and I was oh, I'm tired. It's Sunday, right? And then I complained to Jay, but then I'm no, this business is a blessing. I worked my ass off, but I want my team to know that, they can get here too. They just have to put in the work and, work with their uplines and, and I mean, I know who all my leaders are. I know who they are. And I have brand new distributors and they could be my leaders too. But I know who my leaders are. I know people who don't maybe not necessarily care, but that might change, right? Maybe they have something going on in their life, or maybe they're just not sure where they are at with the business, right? But I don't know. I think you just have to really decide how bad you want it and then go after it. Because if you want to get to diamond, you have to like put in the work. Like it's not just going to happen.
Yeah, any of the promotions really, right?
No, yeah.
You have to decide it and go for it. I mean, people don't join what you're doing. I just wanted to wrap up with this tip. People don't join what you're doing. They join why you're doing it. So if there's anything you can take away from the call is to make other people feel special. You know, get on the phone and just be their friend and come back to those few key questions. You know, like you said, mentioning trying the product that or becoming a distributor or whatever. But how you make them feel is what they're going to remember. And your why is what brings people in. It's not the ingredients in the product. It's not the compensation plan in particular. It's going to be the why that stands out for people. And that's why people choose who they choose to join with. So always start with why, and that includes what you're doing on a daily basis, right? You get up in the morning, okay, why am I doing what I'm doing? Well, okay, so you work backwards. Well, I want to make an extra, I want to increase my check $500 this month. Okay, how do I do that? I've got to help this many people. So you work backward, make it about other people, make them feel special. I love that you do a mix of everything. So you're doing a mix of contests, you're doing a mix of getting on the phone with people, Facebook, online parties, you're sending out samples, you send out thank you cards, you just make your customers feel special, and you're committed. You've never given up, man. That's the best thing. I have to applaud you for never giving up and being so consistent, and that's why you're such an inspiration to myself and the team. And we're so blessed to have you on the team that I think the rest of us wouldn't be where we are if it weren't for you as well. And so I just want to thank you.
I don't know about that.
Thank you for, well, no, I mean, like we've all, a lot of us, I'm thinking back to the people who have watched you from the beginning. And we've all learned, I think we've all learned from you. Maybe you just don't know it, but I mean, I've learned a lot from you, watching you from the start. And
sorry.
An honor. It's just an honor to watch and share this with you.
And I will say a year ago, and then you can end this. Last August and September was really, really, I love you too, Jess. Thanks. It was really, really hard. Like my husband and I were fighting. I ended up in the hospital. I was supposed to go to Calgary for a 1T1 mission. I was in the hospital for really bad head issues. And it was really bad. And I was like, for like a split second there, I was like, this business is emotional. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time, but I know I was never going to quit. And another reason is just not only did I need it for my family, but I knew there were people watching me. People want you to fail, right? And I'm never that type to ever give up on anything. I just, like Jess said, you fail forward, you just keep going. And those couple months where I just kept working and working so hard, that's when my business really changed. And then going double, of course, that's when everything changed. And you just, if you really want something, you can do it, but you have to decide what your goal is and then decide what you're going to do to get there. Because you can't just wait and see what happens. You have to just go after what you want.
Yeah, it won't happen for you. You've got to decide and go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, I was laughing to my husband. Since last year, I've given myself a $17,000 per month raise.
That's amazing.
Since last year.
This time last year?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! Congratulations.
No, and I'm not talking about this I'm not, because to me it's just crazy, right? But I know I worked really hard to get there and my team is amazing. But it wasn't like that a year ago. Like I was maintaining at Diamond and I was still having a decent paycheck, but it was because I was putting in so much work. Like any of my girls can tell you, like I was working, like I still work really hard now, but honestly, I had so many people that quit. So many people quit. And I was like, oh my God. And I just kept going.
Yeah.
And I bought myself something really nice today and I still can't believe it. And my husband's like, he's the one who forced me to buy it. So, you know what? I think honestly, if you work hard and you want something, you should buy it. And you know what? I worked hard to get where I am, and anybody can get here. You just have to work hard and just be consistent and excited. That's all it is.
Can you please show us the Louis Vuitton? Show us the Louis Vuitton. Where is it?
No, it's on It's on its way.
Okay.
I forced you.
I want to see
yeah.
it, man.
Joanna forced me to buy it. It was kind of an impulse.
You deserve it, babe. You deserve it.
It's crazy spending that kind of money. But anyway, you know what? I always wanted one, and so I thought, what the hell? My husband made me buy it. I'll blame it on
That's
him.
awesome. That's good though, and it's something that you've always wanted, and it's like
and celebrate your success when you get 4 customers, when you get to executive, when you get to Ruby. Every single rank you get to, celebrate, right? Like,
strive for progress, not for perfection. That's one of my favorite quotes.
Okay, Steph, we should go. It's late.
Yeah, let's go.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks everybody for hopping on.
I love you, ladies.
Tanis, you're amazing. I thank you.
You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing.
I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
Both of you are just the bomb.com. We love you so much. So much. Okay.
I love Jess. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Good night, everybody.